Since childhood, it has been ingrained in us and we've been conditioned to be in our best behavior, do the right thing, and seek other people's approval, even if it compromises our joy and happiness and peace of mind. And yet, we do it over and over and over again. Why is that? Hi, I'm Jacqueline and welcome. We at Joyful Living Mindset are so excited that you're here because we believe that you can be wildly successful without compromising your happiness or peace of mind. And we're here to help you navigate that journey and succeed on your terms. So when I look back at the people pleasing, it almost seems like it's an addiction and it's so hard to break out of. This is something that we constantly have to work on. But when you look at why do we all fall victim to people pleasing and seeking other people's approval? Why is that so important to us that we keep falling back to the same trap and the same cycle over and over again, no matter who we are, how old, how young we are, and it's just something that we're all affected by. So there's 4 things that I look at that really affects and explains why we as a race, a human race, we are so conditioned and kind of like almost addicted to people pleasing, and we get stuck in that people pleasing mode. So the first is that we by nature are good people, goodwill people, good meaning people, and doing things that make other people happy brings us joy, especially when there's someone that we care about, our loved ones, right? Those closest to us. And second is we don't like conflict because conflict potentially threatens that peace and that joy that we seek, because that's what we love. Like we love to feel at peace. We love to feel joy. And there's nothing better than to experience that through the eyes and lens of someone that we love, right? And so when we don't please someone, other people, or especially someone we love, and there's a conflict and this contention between the two of us, it creates conflict, and then it threatens that peace and that joy that we once have, and we want to just kind of go back and restore it at all costs. Third is that we seek a sense of belonging, because also by nature we are relational creatures and we don't want to be alone. And we look at throughout history, throughout evolution, we are stronger and better together as a species, as a race. And so we avoid at all costs not only conflict, but also this sense of not belonging, and this sense of loneliness, and that we don't belong and we don't connect to anybody. And then fourth is, this is a tricky one. Fourth is when we are not sure of who we are. We've lost sight of who we are and what is it that we really want. And so that creates this lack of confidence in us, and it creates our inability to decide for ourselves, and it prevents us from taking a stand for what we believe in, because we're not sure who we are and what we're fighting for and what we stand for and what we believe in to counter whatever it is that the other person is requesting of us. So it's just easier to just go along, go with the flow, right? How many times have we heard that? I just want to go with the flow. I don't want to have any conflict. And I've heard that throughout my life, growing up in my family all the time. Sometimes I would even confront my parents. I was like, Mom, Dad, my brother is acting out and it's ridiculous. It's like, why aren't you, why are you enabling him? Why do you keep going along with whatever he says? And they always just say, it's like, oh, we don't want the family to be in turmoil, and we want to keep the peace in the family, and let's just go with the flow. I've just heard that so many times. Yes, it's great to go with the flow, but in this case, it just keeps us stuck more and more in our people-pleasing mode. And I'm sure you and I have both understand and have witnessed that in the long run, it actually doesn't serve anybody. And it doesn't really help the situation in any. We're just enabling other people. And we're moving further and further away from who we are, our sense of identity, our sense of confidence, and our clarity in terms of who we are, what we want, why we're here, and the direction that we want to be moving in our life. So those are the 4 main reasons why we often are stuck in this people-pleasing mode. Again, that's first is that we are by nature are really great, meaning, good people. And we experience so much joy doing something for someone and seeing them being happy. That feeds us, that brings us joy, because that's really kind of our default that we want to be in. Because really, none of us here on earth are ever born like with an evil streak, right? We are good by nature. We are good, meaning people, and we love to be happy and be at peace. Second is that we don't like conflict. We don't like anything that threatens that joy and that peace. And so we just want to avoid that situation altogether. Third is that we seek a sense of belonging so that we don't feel so alone and lonely in this world, and that there's somebody else out there that knows us, understands us, that we can connect to, that we can lean on, right? It gives life more meaning for us. And fourth is that we've lost sight of who we are. And so it then makes it really hard for us to decide for ourselves. And so it's just easier to go with whatever it is that the other person or people are requesting of us or expecting of us. And we just feel like, well, at least they're happy. If they're happy, I'm happy, right? And at least it doesn't create more drama and conflict in my life. And I still have that relationship with them, so I don't feel alone, right? But the downside of that is that you move further and further away. You can become more and more disconnected with who you really are, and you start to lose your sense of identity. So if you found this episode helpful, make sure to tune in to my next episode where I talk about how do you break out of this people-pleasing mode without burning your bridges. Until next time, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye for now.